What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to the channel, and today let's go for another round of our WCR Tier 2 Championship here at Abu Dhabi. And as we are just moments away from the start of the qualifying session, let's get ourselves going with the track introduction, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this final qualifying session of our WCR Tier 2 Championship. Round 13 of our championship is held here at Abu Dhabi in a circuit composed of 5.5 kilometers of tarmac, 21 turns, 12 to the left and 9 to the right, in one of the most expensive F1 venues ever constructed. We are going to have a very nice race indeed, as we are going to have the sunset go one last time, as the sun is also setting on our season here today. As you guys can see, for the last race podium we had Jensen, Evil Kiwi and Zor, as Jensen converts a pole position into a win. And we have the Hypersoft, the Ultra Soft and the Super Soft at our disposal for today's race. Let's see which ones are going to be the tires of choice for the drivers for both qualifying and the race. Moving to our standings, we have Jensen leading the championship. He's already been crowned the first world champion of the WCR Tier 2 Championship, as it took the win at Brazil. Now it is an unsurmountable lead of 41 points over Evil Kiwi. Azor is in P3 with 95 points, about 8 ahead of Noidrate. Black Reverse only 5 points behind the Renault driver and 1 point ahead of Overspeed. So still everything is up to play for the last place of the podium here in this championship. Then we have Tyser in 7th with 56 points, followed by Dal with 48, Valu in 9th with 36, Necronical Pug with 34 completes the top 10. Moving to the constructors, we have Williams leading the championship with 281 points, followed by Scuderia Toro Rosso with 204. Then we have Renault in third with 143. Then we have Alfa Romeo with 112. Then a gap to Sahara for India, who sits in 5th with 91. Then we have Ferrari, the Italian team, in 6th with 74 points, followed by Mercedes with 58, Haas in 8th with 42, 2 points more than Red Bull, as McLaren sits in last place with 6 points, as they haven't scored a point since Italy, if I am not mistaken. So with that, we can get ourselves to our lobby. Just working everything out with my second monitor. Everything is all right. Now we're going to get ourselves our data, as it is raining here in Abu Dhabi. Here in the desert we have rain today in this Yas Island. It's going to be the intermediate tires for the drivers. I haven't gotten any information regarding if the weather is going to improve or get worse. We also have a bit of glitch there with the name of that Mercedes driver. He is a reserve, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of our reserves. He's debuting today, I believe, but his name is glitching there for me, so I have no idea what to call him. I'll call him Mercedes number 2, by the way. But yeah, the circumstances are probably very tricky for the drivers. I'm pretty sure none of them have practiced the rain out here. So going to get ourselves the details. Everyone is fitting intermediates, of course, the telemetry and the lap data. So we're going to get ourselves a look at someone who's already close to start. They're flying a lap. We have Necronical Pug in the Haas, about to complete the third sector of his out lap. Let's see what the Haas driver can do here today. Let's see how it goes. By the way, LGS, welcome to the live stream. Welcome everyone in chat. Welcome to the live stream. I know LGS. It will change for next season, don't worry. Especially because it's going to be in the F1 2019 game. But yeah, don't worry, I will change the graphics come next season. Now, speaking about Nechronicle Pug, he hasn't had luck on his side since the start of the season. He debuted at Hungary, if I'm not mistaken, with a second place finish, and it has been his best race to date. He got 7th in the following race at Belgium, that retired in 3 straight races, then finished 5th at Suzuka, retired for 2 straight races, didn't show up for USA or Brazil, and now in the final round of the championship he is going to try and take another points position finish. We know every single race he finished on the points, so he either has a decent pace or is just getting very bad luck in all these races. Hopefully he doesn't have bad luck. Hopefully we can have and enjoy a good battle for position with him and his fellow rivals, and hopefully we can have success here today. Just getting through corner number 13, I believe, and we have up through the gears as we go full throttle. The car can stretch its legs a little bit through turn 16 before the braking zone of turn 17. You have to start lifting off, quite like the approach to the Japanese hairpin at Suzuka. You have to lift off a little bit in the previous corner, especially if it is raining, and it gets now under the hotel to corner number 20, and a little bit of a tank slapper on the exit. Let's see how he manages to get through corner number 21. Could have taken a little bit more speed. The car slid from under him and he's first to cross the line, and he posts a 150.3 at the moment. Let's follow Sim Racer. He's just starting this lap. Let's try to take a look at Evil Kiwi. Perhaps Evil Kiwi is still on his out lap. Let's take a look at Jensen, the championship winner, the champion, and he's aborting his lap. He's going to the pits. We have Virkamp, our reserve, debuted last race at Brazil, could not finish the race, but so far he's the quickest with a lap of 1:49.6, just beaten by Rocky with a 1:49.6 lap time. So one of our McLarens is leading, and he gets beaten by Black Reverse. It was telling us in chat, maybe it was a little bit of bluff, as he was telling us that he didn't have much practice, or maybe the number 13. Maybe 13 is a lucky number for him, but let's see if anyone else improves. We're going to take a look as Bitex Sim Racer, who's now a bit of a tank slapper, very rough turn number 17 there for the Welsh driver. He's going, yeah, this is not a drift competition, I am sorry, as Valo is in a wall. Someone in, by the way, TX606, I will answer to you in a second. Someone in chat was predicting Valu to end up in a wall, and that's exactly what he did, funny enough. So let's follow the second Toro Rosso. I think it's Civil Kiwi about to start his flying lap. Let's see how he does. And TX, I'm not sure every single assist that is allowed, but there are assists allowed. In tier 1 nobody uses assists, to my knowledge. This is tier 2, some assists are allowed, I am not entirely sure which. So yeah, they're probably, like, I know the quickest guys don't use assists, but some of them do use assists in this league, because some of them are available. Now, Evil Kiwi getting through the end of the first sector. It must be smoother on the throttle application coming out of that hairpin. That wasn't the greatest exit. DRS, of course, not available to him, as Dahl is also in a wall somewhere, or just retired from the session. Dahl is supposed... sorry, no, I was confusing him with Dairi. Yes, Dairi is in the Force India. Dahl is a reserve, so he's racing for the second Haas. Here this afternoon, another set of trouble there for Evil Kiwi. The Toro Rosso's not having the best of days with traction here today. That's basically lap done for Evil Kiwi. He's going to have to go out again and try later on if he wants to get something done. There was a Haas going very wide, and we have a couple of... Since he aborted this lap, why not have a couple of donuts from Evil Kiwi there, just celebrating his second place in the championship. So mathematically he's not able to move up nor move down, so he has that second place locked in, and probably they know that the race is going to be dry. They didn't tell me, but if the race is going to be dry, then they have no use for these tires apart from qualifying, and they have quite a few sets of these, so they can just do some burnouts, go to the pits, and get a brand new set. We have Zor, because it looks like he's going to start his flying lap. Let's see what he does. Here, the Mercedes driver is one of the guys that's still battling for the third place in the championship. Of course, mathematically, there's still a possibility of Zor to lose the third place, even though he has advantage over all of his opponents, not only in the points scored, but also in the history of results. Just taking a look at the Frenchman's stats, he debuted at Belgium, got a second place in his debut race, then he didn't show up for Italy, but won Singapore, then got fourth place at Russia after a couple mistakes in the rain, came back strong with another win at Suzuka, then he wasn't able to show up at Mexico or USA, and came back with the third place at Brazil after some mistakes of his own as well. A rough weekend for the Frenchman, but he still was able to crawl back to a podium finish at Brazil, so that shows how talented this driver is, and of course he is in prime position at the moment to consolidate his third place finish in the standings after the end of this race. Bielly-Luke, in the meantime, as you guys can see, is not the last place out of the cars that posted the lap time so far, 153.1, gets promptly beaten by Tyser, that is now the new occupant of 11th place. A bit of trouble there for Zor through corner number 16, the shift or the weight transfer being a bit too violent for the suspension of the Mercedes and for the grip of the tires. Had to do a few sessions of counter steering there, some drifting practice maybe for the burnouts at the end of the race, but he gets through corner number 20 smoothly. Let's see how he gets through corner number 21 using the tank slapper to help rotate the car, and he crosses over the line with a 149.7. It is 6th place so far for the Frenchman, as his teammate has in the meantime posted a 148.5. Unfortunately, I cannot see who it is, I don't know who it is, but it is the lead of the session so far for the Mercedes. As you guys can see, we have the McLarens in second and third. They are very competitive drivers, they have good pace, but unfortunately every single race they have disaster struck upon them. They haven't scored a single point in any race so far, and they've always qualified in the top 5 with both cars. So they always qualify in the top 5 with both cars, but then something happens and both of them DNF. So McLaren has not scored a point since Italy, if I am not mistaken. I don't have the stats for the previous drivers. These two drivers came in midway through the season, and yeah, that's why they haven't scored any points, and McLaren has 6 points to their name so far. Now let's take a look at Jensen, who's still on his out lap. I want to see the world champion in action. I would like to see what he does here under these conditions. And at the moment, let me just take a look at chat. You legit don't know what to do about this bug or whatever it is. It's either the wheel or the game, because that also happens to me. The double down shifts and double up shifts. I think it's the pedal shifters, in my opinion, but because that's what happens to me. But not much I can do about that at the moment. By the way, while we are waiting for everyone to complete the qualifying, let me know. There was Ferrari. Okay, the Ferrari was going very slowly there. He either has to get out of the way, or the Williams must get back a little bit. That's not ideal. We have a Mercedes coming in, we have the Renault and the Williams are also coming in, so no one is setting a lap out of these three. Unfortunately, I would like to see him go on a fast lap. Senior Magic is on a flying lap of his own. He already completed the first sector. Let's see how he does now for the Renault. He is also one of our reserves. He debuted at USA with a 6th place finish, so in the points for his debut race, not too shabby. He didn't show up for Brazil, he wasn't able to attend, but the number 66 is back here at Abu Dhabi, and let's see what he can do at this qualifying session again through this double DRS zone. Of course, not available under these wet circumstances, as he gets through the triple chicane of corners 10, 11 and 12 if I'm not mistaken. Looks like he navigated through those very smoothly. The car seems stable at the moment. Not sure how it is in terms of pace, how much time he's gaining or losing to his rivals, but at the moment well within sector number 3 to corner number 16 and 17. Always a tricky spot, but he managed to deal with it rather nicely. Under the hotel, coming out of corner number 19. The camera didn't help me there, but there goes the scarlet red Ferrari. He's going to get himself through the last corner of this layout. He's going to cross over the line, and it is going to be a 149.4 that gets him up to 4th place. So not bad at all. Actually just under 2/10 apart from 3rd place there. So competitive lap time there from the Ferrari. Let's see if any of these guys can improve until the end of the session. As it stands, it's one of the McLarens on 5 laps, all intermediates, sets the fastest lap time so far. So let's just look down the order. I'd like to take a look at where is Evil Q is in the pits, Jensen is in the pits. We have Noiderate. He's also one of those drivers that are on a battle for 3rd place in the standings. Let's see what he does, as he just started his first flying lap. Let's see what lap time he is able to set here. The Singaporean driver, full commitment to corner number 3 as we now start going downhill into this hard braking zone, into the chicane of corners 4 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. And coming up through the hairpin. Let's see how smooth he gets the power down. That was a smooth exit. He could have short shifted a little, or shifted up a little sooner there into 4th gear. He over-revved the car quite a bit. Also waiting a bit too long in my opinion to get into 8th gear. Another big braking zone into the chicane of numbers 8 and 9. Double lockup in the front tires there for the Renault driver didn't exactly help. Is him shaving off the speed that he needed to approach the chicane. He's away though, once again heading into another big braking zone. End of sector to 19.5 is the time of that intermediate sector. Let's see how he does now in the final sector. A big snap of oversteer as he came out of the triple chicane there, also accelerating on the curbs is not exactly ideal. Let's see what he manages to do under this tricky section of corner 16 and 17. Managed to slow the car nicely through this very technical section under the hotel. Smoothness is required on corner exit. He gives a little kiss to the outside wall as he now navigates through corner number 20, going to the curves once again. Let's see how well he rotates the car into the last corner. He has a bit of correction to do, loses the car, but he still crosses the line with a 149.6, which gets him 7th place at the moment. So compared to his rivals for 3rd place, he is ahead of Zor, he's behind Black Reverse, and he's also ahead of Overspeed. So he's 2nd best at the moment in that fight for the top 3 at the end of the championship. Now let's take a look at Verkamp, as I think he was the one crossing through the end of the first sector. Yes, it was the number 21. Again, one of our reserves debuted at Brazil unfortunately could not take that race to the end. But let's see what he does today. He has a 149.6 so far to his name. He was one of the first to complete the lap, but unfortunately it just goes wide into the chicane and nullifies his own lap. So let's take a look at the Toro Rossos. I'd like to take a look at where he is on the track. He's in the last sector. Evil Kiwi is he ahead or behind? Evil Kiwi is ahead of BTEC Sim Racer, and Jensen is further behind. So let's take a look at these 3 drivers as you're going to follow Evil Kiwi's lap. Of course, very talented driver. Let's see how he can manage the circumstances. Hopefully they don't nullify their laps, as BTEC Sim Racer had a big tank slapper there through the 2nd last corner, as we were seeing on the background of the camera. Any mistake from Evil Kiwi and Beat Extreme Racer is going to be breathing down his neck. They might trip over each other as Pax Gamer is the new leader of the standings. 148.294 takes the lead and provisory pole at the moment as we are on the dying moments of this qualifying session. Actually, Jensen might not have enough time. Yes, Jensen went from some burnouts and Jensen is not going to be able to take it to a flying lap. He's going to start this race from last place. Zor as well, in the meantime, proceeded himself up to P3. Pax Gamer completes his second lap. I don't think he improved as he's shown the flag. Jensen is also shown the flag, of course. Black Reverse in fourth. We have Evil Kiwi aborting his own lap. Let's take a look at the Welsh driver. Let's see if he posts a lap time, a competitive lap time. Black Reverse also is not going above fourth as he crossed over the line with a 148.7. So he's very close to Zor. Of course, he needs to beat Zor if he wants to have a chance at that third place in the championship, and needs Zor to finish at least 2 or 3 places behind him in order for him to have a chance. We still have Overspeed down in 15th and Noiderate in 8th, as we are now having the third sector from the Welsh driver of the Toro Rosso. The camera is curving the F1 car there as a yacht was in the way. Let's see how it gets now to these last 2 corners of the racetrack. Tyser has also solidified at least a 13th place. He might get a slap on the wrist for extending there, but he crosses over the line and still manages to get a 10th place finish at the moment, unless he gets beaten. Zor crossed the line in P2, beating his teammate. Black Reverse in 4th. Veerkamp crosses the line in 6th place as he demotes Necronical Pug, and everyone else below. Senior Magic crosses the line, can't improve on 8th place. Noiderate can still get in the top 5. Let's see what he does as he's about to cross the line. Everybody else that are on track has crossed the finish line, so they are not improving, and Noiderate also taking it to the pits and is not going to improve his lap. Is going to start from a 9th place in the standings. So we are just going to have to wait until the game understands that the session is over. Just going to get it to pause mode because I'm going to organize stuff on my other monitor. But yeah, just waiting for the end of the session. I would like... Come on, thank you very much. And okay. Now, let's see. I don't think everyone else yet. No one else is out on track. So we're going to proceed to the standings. As you can see, Zor with the 2nd place. So very good performance there from the Frenchman. And while you get the standings, I'm going to get through for the introduction of our race, shall we? Just getting done with the loading procedure for everyone. And yeah, as you get the standings, we are going to get started with the introduction of our race. Welcome to the final round of this WCR Tier 2 F1 Championship. Congratulations to Jensen and the Williams team on both drivers and constructors championships, and well done to all the drivers who have given us some brilliant entertainment throughout the previous 12 races. We are now set for a dramatic night here in Abu Dhabi, Arabic for Father of the Gazelle, as we'll find out who is going to spring to the top of the podium come the end of the 28 laps this evening. Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit, the most expensive F1 venue ever constructed, as it took over 1.3 billion US dollars to make a circuit a reality in this Yas Island. 5.5 kilometer long, this circuit, 21 corners, 12 to the left and 9 to the right, has a dash down into turn 1 of 304 meters in a few moments time, and you take your lap distance at full throttle for 6 63% of those 5.5 kilometers. There's always action here on the opening lap, as in 2010 Michael Schumacher got spun around and Vincenzo Liuzzi ended up getting a little too close for comfort to the silver arrows. Turns 8 and 9, the chicane after the first of the back straights. Nico Rosberg couldn't get stuck behind Max Verstappen, so he had to get a move on and overtook the Red Bull coming out of that chicane on his way to a World Drivers' Championship. But it was a different story though in 2012 at turn 16, Narain Kartikeyan moving a bit too slowly and the silver arrow hitting the back of the HRT. Moving to the grid, we have Spax Gamer leading the pack as he lines up alongside Zor in the first row of the grid. Then you have the second Mercedes in P3, followed by Black Reverse, as the third row is occupied by Rocky and Virkamp is only his second qualifying session of the season. A very good performance from the reserve driver. Then you have Niconical Pug coming back from his absences with the 7th place at the moment. The Senior Magic is alongside him in the 4th row of the pack. Then we have Noidweight and Diary. Finally, Diary is qualifying in the top 10. The American driver is now completing the top 10 in this 5th row of the grids. Then we have the 6th row composed of BTEC Sim Racer and Videoton in the best of the Alfa Romeos, followed by Rat and Overspeed in 14th. In 15th place we have the second Renault of Tyser, followed by Valu, as Pielwik occupies 17th alongside Dal in the the second best of the Haas. As in last place, almost in reverse order from the championship, we have Evil Kiwi in second last and Jensen in last place. So with that, we're going to get ourselves waiting for the start of the race, as everyone are getting through with their formation lap. We're going to get everything in order on my second monitor there real quick. Hey Sprinter, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Guys, let me know in chat who you are rooting for and or who you think is winning this race. Just going to get myself on the details for everyone in terms of the telemetry and the lap data. Everything is showed up to you as well. So everyone is going to get lined up as the front row has waited quite a bit for the race to begin, as we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A good start from Spax Gamer and Zor. The second Mercedes also getting a better start. Both Mercedes a better start than the McLaren. We have Black Reverse also challenging Rocky. There's a Black Reverse, sorry, Necronical Pug going very wide into turn number 1. He comes back. Videoton already with a 5-second stop and go penalty for the collision with Overspeed, as his own teammate, I believe, is brought down to second last place. Now Zor is with the lead. Spax Gamer in P2, the second Mercedes in P3, Rocky in P4. There's a battle there between both Ferraris and the Chronicle Pug. Senior Magic keeps himself ahead of Bialyluk. Bialyluk starting very well up to P9 already, even though in a drag race he's losing out on speed to BTEC Sim Racer. He's see who is going the later of the late breakers there. Very slow, all very chaotic, as Zor retired from the session. I don't know what happened there, but the race leader, the Frenchman Zor, is out of the race. Bialyluk maintains P10. Diary is trying to defend 9th place. He's going to take the inside approach to this triple chicane. We have also BTEC Sim Racer challenging Senior Magic for P6. He's not quite able to get the move on the Ferrari driver. Now getting a look at the remaining of the pack. Evil Kiwi already up to P11. Jason still stuck in 18th place. Many drivers here with the Ultrasofts at the moment. As you see a mistake there, I believe it was from Bialyluk. Yes, Bialyluk making a mistake, and apart from overtaking a Diary, he also lost a lot of time there. So the American driver is back down to where he started in P10. Evil Kiwi is going to try to pick up any pieces from that. The Spax Gamer, of course, is the first to cross over the line and gets himself the fastest lap of the race so far. So we have this second Mercedes. Okay, the timing was trolling me. It was telling me that the car was under a tenth of his rival, which is not true. We now know Jensen has in the meantime made his way up to P16. He took it, either he had a moment there or took it very easy into the first couple corners. He lost a big amount of time. He's currently 1.5 seconds behind Dahl. Also, Dahl's timing there is not exactly what it is supposed to be. Going to get up to a BTX Sim Racer, who's witnessing a battle between Senior Magic and a Black Reverse. But more importantly, we have Rocky in a battle there with the second Mercedes. We have some debris there from the sponsoring board getting destroyed by the first McLaren. And let's see who's the last of the late breakers into this triple chicane. The Mercedes holding it around the outside, maintaining P2, but the McLaren is not really giving up. Let's see, Rocky, there is contact with the Mercedes as he has to stay put in third place so far. The camera wasn't really helping me there for a second, but fortunately Veerkamp is close enough. Very good start of the race from the Red Bull as well. I believe he started in either P6 or P7. He's up to P4 so far, so very good start of the race for him at the moment. Now looking down the order a little bit, DRS is only now enabled for these drivers. We have Rocky. Is he going to take another look at the inside? He does take a peek at it, but decides to try not to outbrake his rival. Black Reverse is the first driver to get into the pits. I don't know if he got any sort of damage, but he's going to choose on a set of the super soft tire. Let's see what he does until the end of the race. Looking at the battle now between Bialyluk and Evil Kiwi. Kiwi around the outside of the chicane. Very good maneuver there. He holds the inside through the hairpin, and let's now see, it's going to be a drag race. Evil Kiwi is going to have DRS, I suppose. The Ferrari will not. We also have Diary taking DRS at his disposal. He can slipstream from both Evil Kiwi and Bialyluk. Let's see, can he get involved in this battle and maybe even pick up some pieces that might come his way. He's going to get the switchback done on the Ferrari. Smooth on the power on the exit of the turn 8 and 9. DRS is now open for the Ferrari instead of the Toro Rosso. Let's see who is going to get the upper hand over this battle. Will it be the Czech or the Croatian? The Croatian goes around the outside and gets his Ferrari pass and comes back once again to 8th place. Brilliant battle there with Evil Kiwi and Bialyluk. Unfortunately, Diary, he tried his best but couldn't quite capitalize on the battle of those two, as now Bialyluk has almost 3-second gap to Necronical Pug, so that is quite unfortunate for them. A train here is starting to form, especially as Evil Kiwi is more and more aggressive, trying to overtake the Ferrari driver. The Mercedes gets a 138.9, and with that it is going to be the fastest lap of the race so far. Just scanning down the differences between each driver. A mistake there from Bialyluk as he gets awfully wide. We also saw Valu get a bit sideways out of turn 1, but that's going to get Evil Kiwi the opportunity to pressurize him once again. Diary losing a bit of time during that first sector to the two cars ahead of him. Let's see now what he does. Mounting the curb on the hairpin, not exactly ideal. He might get now under pressure from Rats. Let's see, we have the Williams overtaking the Force India, but the Force India has DRS at his disposal. So instead, let's take a look at the Ferrari that gets overtaken by Evil Kiwi, but Kiwi goes around the outside. There is a diving maneuver there, there is contact, also a bit of a lag incident between these two. Bialyluk is going to have DRS to answer the Toro Rosso's attack. Behind them, though, we have a 3-man battle for P10. Will it be Diary, Rat, or Valu getting the upper hand? Diary holds the outside line into that triple chicane. Let's see how it gets on the exit. The Williams gets a better exit, and Rat gets it done, but the Force India is not giving up, gets a better exit, goes for the switchback. Now around the outside of turn number 16 is going to turn into the inside, but what a great maneuver there from Diary. Rat tries to outbrake the Force India. There is contact, and now Valu is picking up the pieces under the hotel. He is going to get in the outside line, that Red Bull, and is also a bit pinched in by the Williams. He can't really get too quickly, so he's going to have to be side by side with the Force India for the time being. Let's see how it does, as we are going to follow Jensen, who has a prime seat in the house for that battle. Diary manages to keep a hold of 11th place, so he manages to minimize his losses and only lose 1 place as he lost it there to the Williams of Rats. Now we have Jensen going alongside the Red Bull. Of course, the Red Bull is on a harder compound of tire compared to the Williams. Let's see what the Williams can do. These cameras are really not helping me at all. Jensen forced a bit wide there by Valu. I would say Valu could have given a bit more space. We're going to take a look at Bialyluk, but just to see if there was a chance of a battle, but looks like not. There is not any chances of that. Diary has DRS, but is too far behind, and Videoton is retiring from the race, and Black Reverse is going awfully slowly. I don't know what is happening with the Force India there, but just trying to find out. Yeah, there is the retired Alfa Romeo dead on the middle of the track, so I don't know why that is not a safety car, since he's parked right in the middle of a very sensitive place, a big braking zone. Everyone is going to be fighting for position there. Is he have a move from Rocky into the Mercedes? Maybe? No, there is not. Bialyluk, we have a virtual safety car. Bialyluk gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under it, and I think it has been back into green flag racing. So yeah, unfortunately, the Ferrari driver who was doing well in the top 10 gets a drive-through penalty to his name. He's going to have to serve that within the following 3 laps. So now we are back to the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Rocky, I'm going to try and take a look at the resources. Looks like the Mercedes has a bit more ERS at his disposal, and the McLaren just got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting 1 too many times, just like Diary is going to get served a 3-second time penalty that is going to be added to his time at the end of the race. Let's see now, Rocky is going to have DRS. The Mercedes does not have DRS at the moment. He has been able to sustain the charges of that number 95. Let's see now how it does. A bit of weaving, I would say, and the McLaren forced to going wide into the chicane. He actually ruins his own exit, and it might be Verkamp. Yes, Verkamp is going to have the DRS of his own now. It's going to be a drag race into the triple chicane. Let's see who's going to get it, as there is contact between the McLaren and the Red Bull. The number 21 is trying to hold it around the outside. There is contact, but I would say that Rocky touched Verkamp on the braking zone on the entry of the triple chicane, so retributing the favor doesn't hurt no one, I would say. Rubbing is racing sometimes, and Verkamp is holding his pit race. So we are now pack forming as BTEC Sim Racer. There is a collision. Verkamp is out of the race at the exit of the hotel, and there we have McLaren with heavy front wing damage. You can see completely destroyed right side of his wing. There was nowhere he could have nothing he could have done to avoid that one, and he's going to have to dive into the pits for a replacement of that front wing after such a good battle between the Dutchman and this McLaren driver. It is actually a shame to see, as the Hungarian needs to get into the pits for a replacement. So Bialyluk is going to serve his drive-through penalty. I would like to change the camera, thank you very much, but the camera is not helping me. God damn it, the menu. Okay, so Necronical Pug is... Wait, where is Necronical? Okay, I was looking at the wrong Toro Rosso, as Kiwi gets past Necronical Pug up into the top 5. BTEC Sim Racer adds DRS on Senior Magic, but wasn't able to get himself up to P3. As the battle goes on between the pole and the Czech driver of the Toro Rosso. We have DRS now from the Haas. Will it be enough? No, it doesn't look like it. Evil Cree got a much better exit and pulls away just enough for the pole to not be able to have a go at the Toro Rosso. It goes wide as he's on the Hypersofts. I'm pretty sure those tires are going to start complaining quite a bit. A 3-second time penalty goes to the pole, unfortunately for him, and yeah, he's really struggling with his Hypersofts at this time of the race. He's well within the pit window, as those who started on the Hypersofts are going most likely for a 2-stop Hypersofts and then 2 stints of Ultras, as Diaz goes into the pits, I'm sure, to get rid of those tires. Speaking of Hypersoft runners, BTEC Sim Racer was keeping up with Singer Magic, but I'm sure his tire wear is just too much, and he's going to try to take those Ultra Softs as long as he can. Maybe he's going to try and make the Hypersoft to Super Soft strategy, but I would say that those who start on the Hypersofts have no other chance than to go to 2 stints of Ultra Softs. Let's see how that goes. Of course, everyone started on brand new tires because the qualifying was completely held under intermediate tire conditions, as Rocky turns his bad race into an even worse one with a second 3-second penalty of the race for him so far, as he's down in P13, 1.5 seconds away from Necronical Pug. Now scanning down the gaps, we still have Jensen very close to his own teammate. Let's see if Rat is going to make it tough for his teammate to get through or not. Both are on the same strategy. Both started the race on ultra soft tires, and Rat, just taking a look at his stats, he is the perennial 11th place finisher. He finished 11th at Germany, Italy, Singapore and Brazil. The only times he scored points were at Russia with a 7th place finish and at USA with an 8th place finish. So even though he finished 11th at Brazil, he has been improving ever since he became a teammate of Jensen. Of course, Rat was driving for the Mercedes, but then Dahl became a reserve and opened the spot to Rat. Of course, Rat joining Williams maintains the all-Dane lineup at Williams, but I'm not sure Rat is going to make it easy for Jensen to overtake him. Of course, Jensen is the champion for a reason. Let's see how it goes. He gets a much better exit and now has the opportunity to go around the inside. No! He actually backs out from the maneuver as his teammate gets a bit of a tank slapper at the exit of the chicane. We now see who gets better traction on the exit. Jensen is for sure going to get the RS. Bialuk is out of the session, unfortunately for the Croatian driver, and we have the 91 pulling to the left hand side, going harder on the brakes, and gets past his teammate. No questions asked, really. Mechanical Pug takes his time in the pits. He goes to a set of super softs and is going to come out of the pits in... Is he retiring? Oh no, he just outbroke himself. Does he have damage? He does have wing damage. He has major wing damage. Coming out of the pits, he just missed his braking point on the exit, or the entry of the tunnel, exit of the pit zone, and he gets himself on the wall and he's going to have to pit soon. So unfortunately, the pole is not having good luck this afternoon. Scanning down the gaps once again, there are some burnouts from a Mechanical Pug, as I guess he's going to retire quite soon, but Black Reverse is still under half a second of BTEC Sim Racer, who actually went on a second stint on the Hypersofts. So that is a strategy that is actually surprising me. I'm not sure if BTEC Sim Racer is trying to go hyper super, but yeah, that second stint on the Hypersofts is sure surprising me. Black Reverse, of course, on the Super Softs, 7 laps old Super Softs, he had his own moments, let's put it that way, early on into the race, forced him to pit at lap number 3, so he has 7 laps on those Super Softs and is no match at the moment for the tires fitted on that Toro Rosso. As you guys can see, he already pulled away by over 2 seconds in just a sector alone. So that's it for that. We have Rocky though right behind Black Reverse. It looks like a lag moment there for the Force India driver. Brings him down to 11. Rocky didn't even have to do anything. Basically, Black Reverse just teleported behind him. And I understand the frustration, as Black Reverse is out of the race. He just crashed out on his own, just under the grandstand. So I don't think any safety car of any form is going to get deployed there. Sebastian, was there deployed? No, okay, there wasn't deployed a full course yellow or a virtual safety car. At least I'm not getting shown that information. but they are going awfully slowly there. Let me just take a look at the orders. Yes, there is a VSC. The game is not showing me, but I saw in one of those signalizing boxes there is a virtual safety car in place at the moment. Evil Kiwi is going to carry on his tires. Specs Gamer is going to switch onto a set of Ultra Softs. It is going to be the second McLaren also on another set of Ultras. Rat is also carrying on. We have Senior Magic going on Super Softs. I'm sure he's going to try to take those to the end, as that was exactly the pit window for him to switch to the Super Softs. Those who went on the Ultras, they will have to pit once again. So Specs Gamer, that Mercedes, they need to pit once again. They can't go on 2 stints of Ultras to the end. So they have to pit again, and Senior Magic, despite going on the Super Softs, he might be very well on the cards. He's pulling the one-stop strategy. He also went into the pits under virtual safety car, so he comes out of the pits in the top 10. Specs Gamer and Jensen have a bit of a spat into turns 8 and 9. Jensen is going for the switchback, but his tires are 10 laps older. He's going to have DRS though, the 91 versus the 71. Let's see who comes out on top into the braking zone for this triple chicane. Specs Gamer squeezing a little bit. Jensen to the outside. Jensen corner cutting there a little bit, trying to keep alongside, but just the traction is not there anymore. Actually, this actually helps Evil Kiwi, as the Toro Rosso driver doesn't have to deal with any battles and can just pull away from these two Rats. Also overtaking actually the Mercedes. I don't know what happened there, but the Mercedes may be a mistake from the Mercedes driver, but Rat getting himself up to P4, and both Williams in the top 5 at the moment, even though a bit of an aggressive maneuver there into the last corner. Very well done though, just taking advantage of how more effective just those Ultra Softs are on the Mercedes. You get to turn 1, it looked like Rat was going for a move, but there was no possibility of that really. 11 laps have been done by that set of Ultra Softs. So as you guys can see, there's not really much to do at the moment for the Williams. The Mercedes just too fast at the moment on brand new tires. Specs Gamer has in the meantime caught up to Evil Kiwi. That's how much hard it is to drive on that old set of Ultra Soft. Specs Gamer gets DRS and is going to make an easy maneuver in Evil Kiwi. He didn't make it easy, tried to brake later and keep the McLaren driver honest, but that's just not much you can do. He's going to inherit DRS into the second DRS zone in the back straight, but I'm afraid there's nothing he can do apart from just try to get a tow from the McLaren and try to keep Jensen as far away as possible. Moving down the order, we have BTEC Sim Racer very close to Diary. BTEC Sim Racer went to the pits for a second stint on the Hypersoft, so 3 laps old Hypersofts compared to 11 laps old Ultrasofts. Diary is most likely suffering quite a bit from the effectiveness of his tires, as BTEC Sim Racer couldn't be faster at the moment. Probably feeling very comfortable on his set of Hypersofts. Let's see how that goes. And it goes on the inside. That's not really an overtaking spot, or at least typically not an overtaking spot, but he did not care. Forced Diary into the maneuver and gets up to P6 as Evil Kiwi gets into the pits finally. Jensen also in the pits and gets awfully close. The Williams crew working better than the Toro Rosso crew, bringing Jensen very close, and Diary is also released from the pits. He's currently in P10. I don't know if both Renaults, no, both Renaults are too far away to capitalize from that, so Diary is most likely going to come out of the pits in 10th place on a brand new set of Hypersofts for the number 13, which is also a strategy that surprises me. I was expecting him to go Ultras to Super Softs and do the one stop, but he's going on Hypers. So it's going to be interesting to see how that strategy develops until the end of the race. We have Jensen just 1 second away from Evil Kiwi, but he was able to get DRS into this straight and is going to close in, I would say, 2 tenths, maybe 3 tenths, just to that DRS alone. And he's going to get, yeah, because he has 2 different DRS zones, right? So he's going to use DRS 2 times, he's going to take the slipstream so it's going to be very close to Evil Kiwi in the laps to come. Of course, this is a battle I've wanted to see for a long time. Let's see how it develops. Rocky has been closing in on a Valu on 12 laps old super soft tires. I believe Valu started the race on super softs, and there is a moment there the camera didn't help me, but Valu, I don't know if he just let the McLaren through or if he had a moment of oversteer under the hotel, but Rocky made a rather easy maneuver in a place where I wouldn't foresee an overtake to happen. So Valu drops down to 6th. This is on his 13th lap on his set of super softs. He's the driver with the oldest tires at the moment on the racetrack. So, oh sorry, actually he's tied with Rat. Rat is on ultra softs with 13 laps. Rat is going awfully long on that set of tires. BTEC Sim Racer has overtaken him to claim 3rd place, but I'm not sure if Rat is going to try and take Ultras then Hypers or just Ultras Hypers. I'm not sure what Rat is trying to do. Rocky and Valu are probably going to overtake him rather easily. You have also Senior Magic going to try to pick up any pieces from that. Rat, as you can see, doesn't have the rear wing flap open, so Valu is going to take the inside, and a bit of an outbraking himself there from Senior Magic. He's going to try the switch back, but look at the traction he has compared to Rat, and just an easy maneuver just in traction alone. Of course, Rat went a bit sideways on the exit, lost a bit of traction, but nonetheless also braking on that curb is not going to help his traction. He's going to take the wide way, and it takes a 3-second penalty for his effort. But yeah, nonetheless, Rat is just now sinking through the order and is finding himself in a 7th place at the moment. As you saw there, a bit of counter-steering action from the Williams driver, not really helpful, his tires at the moment. So we have Senior Magic. It's a 10-lap difference, the same compound of tires, but 10 laps of usage in a difference between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. I don't expect an overtaking maneuver to happen right now, but let's see. The 66 looks like he doesn't have too much patience, and he's actually going down the inside and going to overtake Valu and take himself 5th place as his own. Rat is finally going to the pits for a set of super softs. If he's going for the super softs, he should have pitted in lap 10 or 11, but sorry, actually not. He's actually, I was looking down at the wrong strategy. Yes, he's actually doing well for the one stop. So maybe Senior Magic, by pitting under the virtual safety car in lap 10, maybe it wasn't the best spot for him to pit for the super softs if he wants to take those to the end. Let's see how that goes. Because now looking at my data, I was looking at it wrongly. I apologize for that. But yeah, this is exactly the opening of the pit window for Rats to take the super softs to the end. So I would say that currently the only driver with the chance to make the one stop work is Rat. Of course, we have Jensen and Evil Kiwi. Speaking of the pair, they are battling it out for 7th place. I'm sorry I missed that one, but I'm sure Evil Kiwi is going to try to get back at the Williams. But as you guys can see, those drivers have 2 laps on their set of super softs, so maybe they can stretch them out if they don't battle too much. But Rat, for sure, I would say, is going to be able to make the one stop work. Even Senior Magic is 4 laps old on that set of super softs. Not sure if he's going to be able to take them home, unless he's going to have some tire managing to do and quite a few moments of oversteer ahead of him as the tires lose effectiveness. He's been closing down on Rocky, who is, despite being on a softer compound, is also on an older set of tires. But so Senior Magic has been closing in on Rocky. Speaking of closing in, we have Valu, Jensen and Evil Kiwi all scrapping out for 6th place. Let's see, the Williams already got past. It's now Evil Kiwi's turn to try to have a go at the Finn. And Valu drops down to P8, 15 laps on his set of super softs. Not much he can do to battle with these two, and is going to find himself down to P8. 2 spots lost in just about 3 or 4 corners, so not exactly the best moment there for the Red Bull driver. As you can see very well, Evil Kiwi getting the RS on Jensen, He knew Evil Kiwi had to force the maneuver past Valu because he knew he needed to get DRS on Jensen to try to overtake him. Of course, now it's going to be the Williams' turn to pay the favor back as the 91 goes around the inside into the triple chicane. Let's see how it goes. It goes harder later on the brakes. Evil Kiwi tries the switchback, but that just doesn't work on this section of the track, and Jensen recovers and gets himself back up to 6th place. So very well done there from the Williams driver to maintain a P6. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two interact with each other. Of course, they've been duking it out for the championship lead for the entire season, and now with nothing else in the cards, none of these drivers, just mathematically, they cannot move anywhere in the standings, as Evil Kiwi gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him, but they have nothing to lose at this point apart from just bragging rights over each other. So I would say they could very well just go all out and have a fight to see who can topple his rival. Valu is in the pits finally as Rat gets a 3-second time penalty, and Valu is going on the reverse strategy. Super softs to ultra softs, laps 16 to 18 was the window, so he's right in the middle of that. He's going to be able to take that set of ultra softs home, so it's going to be rather easily for Valu. He's going to come out of the pits in 11th, and ahead of him he has drivers with either harder compounds or older sets of tires, so he's going to be very quick. He might get a bit of a charge late in the race now, so let's see how he does. Overspeed with a 3-second time penalty, not that it matters much, as the Hungarian finds himself in last place of this pack. But moving to the battle for the top, you can see the debris there from both the McLaren and the Red Bull of Verkamp as they collided at the exit of the hotel section. There we have it. The Mercedes is awfully close to Spax Gamer. Let's see how we go as we approach the end of this first sector and into the DRS zone. I'm interested to see if the McLaren has what it takes. Maybe the McLaren has just less wing. They have the same amount of laps, the same compound on the tires on their single-seaters. So let's see how it goes. Vitex in racer in the meantime goes for his second pit stop. He's going to drop down the standings a little bit. Let's see how it goes. The Mercedes isn't really getting, he's already maxed out. He's getting the DRS, he's getting the slipstream, but he's not closing in nearly enough. And he's also getting the glitch on his revs, so on his RPMs. So I'm not really going to get on board with the Mercedes driver. Senior Magic got past Rocky on the DRS zone. Let's see if the Mercedes does the same. No, he does not. So let's see, can Rocky get back at Senior Magic? Looks like Magic got a better exit on a harder compound but fresher compound, so just getting a better exit and no chance of answer there from Rocky. So the McLarens have now finally seized their first race. So the McLarens joined the season, I think, at Suzuka, both of them, and they haven't finished the race yet. So you can see how quick they are. They just have had awful amounts of bad luck in every single race. They haven't scored a point, but it looks now they are the only team with 2 cars in the top 5, so they could really well get a very good amount of points in this last race of the season and close the season out with a good performance. Evil Kiwi getting a second 3-second time penalty. He's really pushing to keep up with Jensen, but that's the second penalty he has gotten under his name in this race so far. So unfortunately, it looks like he can't really keep up with Jensen without and he can't keep up with Jensen and beat the ship limit at the same time, unfortunately. So we're going to wait and see. Maybe Jensen makes any mistake and allows Kiwi to get back at the Williams driver. Scanning down the order, we have the Mercedes once again just under half a second behind the McLaren. Doesn't look to me like it's going to be another chance of overtaking for the Mercedes. Maybe I am wrong though. He has a look at the inside but decides to back out from his. But I'm guessing it's just the dirty air is not really allowing himself to get too close to Spax Gamer through this twisty third sector. The front wing downforce is quite important, and being that close probably doesn't allow him to get the best turn in. As you can see there, to corner number 17, he took it a little bit slower than the McLaren, and he just loses enough time that by the time he gets to the DRS zones, he's not able to pull a move on the Mercedes to take the lead. It's going to be interesting though, see if any of them makes a mistake until the end of the race. I don't know about their penalty situations, but again, I'm really interested to see how that goes. As you guys can see on the gaps, the drivers that are the closest to each other are these two, as Evil Kiri has started to pull away, Jensen has started to pull away from Kiri, and Rocky goes into the pits. He's going to get rid of his set of Ultra Softs. I'm pretty sure he's going to bolt on a set of the pink walled Hyper Softs. He's going to go on some very fast laps here towards the end of the race. Of course, every single time anyone is coming out of the pits, the game freezes to me for a little bit, and finally we have an overtake between Spax Gamer and the Mercedes, and exactly when I looked away from it is when the maneuver was done. Let's see now, Spax Gamer, I don't think he has what it takes to come back now at the Mercedes, but the Mercedes did take the lead. Again, they are both on the exact same strategy. Let's see how it goes until the end of the race. 8 laps to go here for both of them, so I'm not sure if they can take the Ultra Softs until then, and if they do, just a tremendous job by them. Tyser, 18 laps on that set of Ultra Softs. He is ways away from any chance at a points finish unless someone retires, but those 18 laps on the set of Ultra Softs, I would say I don't envy his position. I guess he wants to finish ahead of his teammate, but his teammate has 16 laps fresher Ultra Softs, so it is going to be a nice inter-team battle. Nice inter-teammate battle. See who comes up ahead. Now, once again, we have Rocky, who is on brand new Hypersofts, coming up to another Hypersoft runner, as Diary is just under a second on 7 laps older tires. Diary is going to pit again soon. Rocky gets, I believe, his second, maybe third, 3-second time penalty of the race. I believe, yes, it is the third. Diary does not make his life hard at all. Pulls into the pits as Diary is going to take a third set of Hypersofts. Let us see what tires he's going to pull off. He could have finished the race in the points, and I think he just wants to make the tires match the colors of his car. That's what I think, as he's going to get himself a third set of Hypersofts. It's going to be quick. Let's see, it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Valu and BTX Sim Racer. He's going to come out behind Valu. I'm not sure how far away, so 2 seconds, yeah, it looks like 2 seconds away from the Finn, and then 7 seconds separates the Finn from the Welsh. So let's see if Diary can cover that gap and get himself back to 8th place. It would be nice, as Diary hasn't had the best of performances. He scored 8 at Italy, 10th at Singapore, 9th at Russia, and hasn't scored any points in 4 races. So closing the season with a points paying finish would be nice indeed. Tyser is going to the pits for a set of Hypersofts, and Overspeed is going to overtake him, so Tyser is going to be fast again, but let's see if he can get closer to any of his teammate or the Hungarian driver of the Alfa Romeo. As you guys can see, looking at the lead, ever since the Mercedes overtook Spax Gamer, the McLaren has been dropping down his pace. I would like to get on board, trying to take a look. So, just comparing. Yeah, so as I can see, through their numbers on the steering wheel, the McLaren has less fuel than the Mercedes, and as you can see, the overall blue bar of ERS, the McLaren also has less. So the McLaren has more resources at his disposal. He can just pull away, he has fuel to spare, he can pull away from Spax Gamer. Of course, if he pushes harder, his tires are going to degrade quicker, as Jensen goes for a move at Senior Magic. I wasn't paying attention to their gaps. I wasn't expecting an overtaking maneuver there, so maybe a mistake from the Ferrari driver, as the Ferrari is going to try to get back at Jensen. Let's see what he does. And no, Jensen holds third place, so Jensen looks like he's going to be in third place at the moment, and unless something happens to him, he has a very good shot at making it to the podium at the end of the race. Rocky is just about 11 seconds away from that trio, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to battle for the top 5. Rat is in 7th place, almost 10 seconds away from Rocky, so no chances of position changes there. And Senior Magic is already losing time to Jensen. You can see Jensen started the racing last and is on his way to get a podium here at Abu Dhabi. Amazing race from the Williams driver, as we have someone in the pits. It's Pax Gamer. He's going to come out of the pits on a set of Vipersoft, so I guess he's giving up on the battle for the win. He wants to make sure he gets 2nd place. He's going to get a brand new set of Vipersofts compared to the Supersofts of both Senior Magic and Jensen. So at least he's going to try and spice up this battle for the 2nd place. Valu gets a 3-second time penalty to his name. I would like to jump to him, as Diary is very close to him. Less than half a second separates the Force India from the Red Bull. But I'll take a look at that. Let me just check where he is on the track. So they are just about to finish sector number 1. I want to see Spax Gamer really be able to overtake Senior Magic in this DRS zone, and he's all closing in awfully close, and he goes for the maneuver. A bit too much of holding on before braking into the corner. So he won't quite tip. Senior Magic had a chance at coming back, but just under traction at the corner exit. The McLaren has him covered and is up to P3. A bit forceful, but fortunately no contact, so clean maneuver there from Spax Gamer to get himself up to P3. With all that, Evil Kiwi has been able to close in on Senior Magic. Evil Kiwi has fresher tires. Let's see how these two battle it out for 4th place until the end of the race. It might actually turn out a 3-man battle for 3rd place, of course, as Jensen might get tangled there with Spax Gamer, but the Mercedes is coming out of the pits on brand new Hypersofts and is still ahead of Spax Gamer, right behind Jensen. So both leaders going on a set of Hypersofts, as Spax Gamer tried the undercut but got released on traffic and wasn't able to get the Mercedes, but Mercedes has a lag. The Mercedes has a screen freeze there, and Spax Gamer just jumps with ease the Mercedes, as we also saw on the background at the exit of the airpin. Evil Kiwi having quite a big tank slapper and therefore not being able to put the power down and overtake Senior Magic. It's going to be rather interesting. I want to see Jensen. Spax Gamer is right behind them. The Mercedes has a good view of both of them. Spax Gamer goes around the outside and just on traction alone takes the lead of the race. Jensen is not going to give it up. He's going for the inside. There could have been contact there. He loses the rear under acceleration. That gives a window for the Mercedes to get past, and yes, it does. It looks like he has the inside line. He had to lift off a bit to give space into turn number 16, but in 17 he is able to hold on to overtake and get himself to P2. Evil Kiwi also had a look at the exterior of the Ferrari, but wasn't able to jump Senior Magic, and therefore he wasn't able to get himself to P4. So with all that, Spax Gamer has now over a second lead, as Rocky has been disqualified from the session for getting too many penalties for corner cutting, and he is out of the race, unfortunately. What a moment there. Senior Magic has contact with Evil Kiwi there. He didn't get the best performance or the best camera there, but couldn't quite see what happened. But Evil Kiwi as Senior Magic goes quite deep. Ah, the camera. Yeah, it goes quite deep. There was contact most likely there. And what we have here was... I'm really sorry, I don't know what happened there. Maybe Senior Magic was trying to let Kiwi drive-through or we have virtual safety car? I'm trying to find out. We have yellow flags. We have a safety car. We have a full-on safety car. At least that's what the information I'm getting. The layout of the game is not showing me, but if you pay attention to the black boxes on the fences, it says safety car. So apparently, yes, Rat gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. What a shame from the Williams driver, as he was going to have a great opportunity at claiming some good points. It was going to be his best race finishing position of the season, and he gets penalized with a drive-through penalty, unfortunately, for the Williams driver. But yeah, we have a safety car is out, so Spax Gamer is leading the race. Everyone is going to get bunched up. The Mercedes is going to get P2. Let's see if anyone is going to go for the pits. Tyser is going for the pits. I am not sure if he's going to come out ahead of the safety car or not. I would like to see. Is he going to come out ahead of the safety car? I'm not entirely sure. And it looks like he did. Not overspeed. Where is the safety car? Tyser gets past overspeed. I don't know how that happens under the safety car, but maybe overspeed overtook Tyser and was informed to let him by. Where is the safety car? I can't see. Is it a virtual safety car? I'm sorry guys, I don't know what's going on at the moment. Trying to find out. Just looking at the guys in last place. The safety car is parked at the exit of the airpin, trying to pick up the first driver. So that Noiderate, Tyser and Overspeed are going to be able to unlap themselves. Well, not to unlap themselves, but catch up to the pack. So they still have something to fight for. Noiderate and Tyser are going on brand new tires, brand new Hypersofts. We have Rat into the pits, of course, is going to try to serve his drive-through, even though you can't serve a drive-through under safety car conditions. So he has to serve it, the drive-through, in the last lap. And BTEC Sim Racer is also out on a set of Hypersoft. He's going to come out in 9th place. He's going to try to attack Rat, Diary and Valu. Even Evil Kiwi, Senior Magic and Jensen, those guys have such old tires compared to everyone behind them. It is really going to spice up this end of the race. Safety car is going to be in this lap, so rather short safety car. And we have the restart of the race coming up soon. So unfortunately for all these drivers, we have Valu. Oh my god, he has the entire second sector to make. I'm going to try and find out. Will Valu going to be able to close up on these guys? Yeah, because behind Valu, Diary is not too far behind. Rats considerably. BTEC Sim Racer, Noiderate, I'm sure, yeah. I'm not sure if BTEC Sim Racer even is going to be able to catch up to the pack before the restart. We have Evil Kiwi. Valu is still there. They are going awfully slowly, but I'm going to have to jump to the leader of the group who's backing up everyone. The green flag is going to be shown rather soon as we get on the restart, and it is. We have green flag racing once again with 2 laps to go here at this Abu Dhabi circuit, at this Yas Marina circuit. There was a tank slapper there. I believe it was from Evil Kiwi, losing a couple of car lanes to 4th place. Jensen does not try anything over the Mercedes. Spax Gamer gets a better launch and is pulling away already by 1 second. Jensen might try something into this chicane. Let's see how it goes. Is he going to charge? No, he does not. A slight lock up there from the Williams, but nothing too serious. Senior Magic though has to defend from Evil Kiwi. They are side by side through the airpin. It's going to be now a drag race. Let's see how it goes. Evil Kiwi has 2 laps fresher tires. DRS is enabled but not available to any of these two, and for some reason, and they are going to get in the battle. Let's see. As the Ferrari gets the outside lane, he does not brake later than the Toro Rosso, but is able to hang on. Even though Evil Kiwi didn't give too much space, he was able to get somewhat alongside, but he's going to have to get himself, refrain himself from a maneuver there and get himself down to P5. So the pack is getting spread out. Spax Gamer is pulling away from the Mercedes. Evil Kiwi and Senior Magic are going to battle it out for 4th place. Overspeed gets a 3-second time penalty. I'm looking to Diary, as Diary is also very close to Rat. Let's see how that one develops until the end. Tyser and Overspeed are also duking it out for 11th place, as Overspeed gets another penalty. Very bad performance from Overspeed throughout this race. Very undisciplined performance from him. As you're going to take a look once again and see Magic, who's already lost over a second to Evil Kiri. So I don't think there is going to be any battling between these two. Rat is going to serve his drive to penalty, unfortunately for the Williams driver. I don't think he's going to come out. I don't think he's going to come out of the pits behind Neuderate, so I think he's at least going to still be in the points, but unfortunately for him, he's going to lose the possibility of getting a personal best in terms of race finishing positions. Everyone has spread out, everyone is 2 seconds apart from each other at this point. So this is how it looks like it is going to win, I would say. Yeah, everyone is just spread out. Even Senior Magic has already lost a big amount of time to Evil Kiri, considering how little in terms of tires is separating those two. But yeah, just going to follow with Spax Gamer. Let's follow on board with this last lap of the McLaren drivers. You can see the ever color changing cover of that of the hotel goes over the tunnel. Some very good photos can be taken from that Etihad's tunnel. Actually in the game it looks like it's not see-through, looks like the walls are not made of glass, but originally I think the walls were made of glass and the photos were able to be taken there. So we have Spax Gamer as the fireworks light up the sky. Spax Gamer is going to cross over the line and take the win of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the first win of his WCR career. The Mercedes finishes in P2, Jensen P3, Evil Kiri takes some celebratory burnouts. Senior Magic passes through. Oh my god, that was awful close. He doesn't really care about his position. He knows he doesn't move, he won't move anywhere. So it's going to be Jensen P3, Senior Magic P4, Valu P5, not Diary in 6th, Evil Kiri in 7th. Then he probably ran out of fuel, that's why he didn't do more burnouts. We have Bitex and Mr. Neuderate, Rat still closing with a point in P10. Then we have Overspeed and Tyser battling it out for not last. And of course, Overspeed has lots of penalties, so I think the Alfa Romeo is still going to be last, but it is not going to be, at least on track, he's not going to be last. At least he can take that home with him, even though on the timesheets he's probably going to have so many penalties that Tyser gets past. And there is contact there. I don't know what happened with Overspeed. Maybe he lost out on fuel, but there you have it. Tyser overtakes. Oh no, Overspeed is going for some burnouts at the end of the season. As Overspeed, he took a podium at USA, a couple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top 5 finishes, so nothing to be ashamed of for the season of the Alfa Romeo driver. Finished the race until the last race. He had a chance of battling for 3rd place in the championship, did not materialize for him, but nonetheless a good season for the Alfa Romeo driver. So yeah, Valu on a great position considering where he started. Yes, he managed to capitalize on the misfortunes of some other drivers and got himself a respectable finish. So going to get through the loading as you see the podium for one last time of the season. The McLarens finally take a win, the first win of the season for McLaren, the first win for the German driver in this season, as he gets alongside another German, as I think it was Marius. Looking at my reserves, I couldn't quite see who that was because I wasn't sure whose drivers were on what teams, but Marius gets himself, it's a 1-2 for the Germans here at Abu Dhabi. Marius gets P2, and of course a regular of the podium, Jensen gets P3. So now we are going to get to the interviews. Hopefully the guys are on the voice channel. I would like to have them on the voice channel. I'm going to enter, so I'm going to call them for the voice chat real quick. Give me a moment. So okay, so let me invite Jensen, Spax Gamer, and Urias. Get on the voice chat. Okay, so we're getting back to the lobby, just waiting for everyone to drop by. or to drop in the voice channel. I'm going to be able to talk with them soon, hopefully, if they get in. Okay, so just waiting for them to join. I think one of them is not online. Specs Gamer is not online on Discord, even though I warned everyone that I wanted to speak with the guys of the podium. But at least Jensen and Murius are online. So just waiting for them to join. So yeah, what do you guys think? It was a good season, but it was a good race as well. I really enjoyed the fact that we got that safety car late in the race and those pit stops from the two guys on the lead. That really spiced up stuff. But yeah, guys, if you guys had to rate that race, how much would you rate it? Like out of 10, how much would you rate those races? I would like to know your opinion as we wait. Oh my god, sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay. So Murius is in. Well, I'll speak to him in a second. Jensen is in. I would like to see. Hey man, what's up? I'll speak to you in a second. I'm trying to find out if Spa. God damn it. Spa. No, he's not online. He's not online. So yeah, it is going to be. Yeah, he's not online, so I'm just going to have to talk with you. Oh, Spax Gamer is online. Okay, he just dropped into the voice chat. So yeah, speaking from third, Jensen qualified last. I don't think you even set a lap time. I was trying to see what I went on board with you so many times. I wanted to see what you were capable of under those tricky circumstances, but you just always went into the pits. God damn it. But yeah, you started last. Evil Kiwi took the challenge from you. Started second last, and yeah, you actually had a few moments there. You lost quite a few amounts of time in the first lap. What happened?
Well, I got a pretty good start. Got a few positions off the line, and then I chose the left side, and my teammate and some Renault, I think, spun, and I was just caught out in the wrong side. Having to wait for like people to reverse out. Then I got on my way, and I overtook into turn two. I overtook a Renault on the left side, and Dal came on the right side, and we couldn't see each other, and we just collided, and I spun. So that was very, very unfortunate.
Okay, well, at least you didn't get. Yeah, at least you didn't get any damage there.
Yeah.
Then from there, you. What were you thinking? Were you always trying to go for the one stop?
Yeah. That was totally the idea. Same as Kiwi, we had the same exact strategy, and well, we just wanted to have fun, and I think we did pretty well.
Yeah, Yeah, you guys had a couple of coming to blows with each other. You guys had a few battles for position. It was nice to see. Unfortunately for Evil Kiwi, you beat him once again, so I'm guessing you can't take that. You have the bragging rights over him, I would say. But
yeah,
yeah, speaking like you guys were always going for the one-stop strategy. Did the safety car throw you guys off?
Well, I thought it was going to the end, so I didn't pit.
No, I'm talking. Sorry, I said safety car. I was talking about the virtual safety car at about lap 10.
Oh, no, it didn't throw anything off. I think we're just conserving fuel and energy.
Okay. So, thank you for the comments. Let's get now to second place, Murius. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It was a very hard race. At the end, I was struggling because I had wing damage.
Oh, okay.
I touched the Williams at the back a little bit, and then I was struggling hard, and I can't catch specs.
Okay, like you guys pitted very close to the end of the race for Hypers. Was it you? I know Specs pitted for Hypersofts. You actually had the advantage there. Were you just afraid that Specs would be able to come at you with Hypersofts, or you just really struggling on the Supersofts and that's why you pitted?
I don't know.
You didn't pit on the super soft, I think.
Yeah, I pitted on the Ultrasofts and then on Hypersofts. I did two-stop with.
We both did a two-stop.
Yeah, but like Murius, he got second place, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you were battling for first with Specs Gamer. You guys were both on the Supersofts, weren't you? I might be remembering wrong, but I think you guys were both on the Supersofts, and then you pitted for the
caught up by
Hypers.
the super soft drivers.
Oh, okay. Well, that invalidates my question then. I got confused. Okay, but yeah, at least it was a good show. It was nice to see you two coming down, and then also having to get through Jensen. Both of you had to get through Jensen, if I remember correctly. So that brought another level of spice to the race, and that was great. So yeah, Specs Gamer, what do we have to say about your race? It's the first time you don't have any sort of bad luck, and you can finally get some points and actually a win. What do we have to say about that?
I'm just really happy because everything goes right and it was a clean race.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. Unfortunately, after Mexico, for example, the collision into turn one and all that must have been frustrating. McLaren didn't score a point since Italy, so I guess it feels good to not only finally score points, but to also get on the top step of the podium. So yeah, this is it. Thank you all for your comments, as this is it for today's race. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video. If you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitch, a follow would be greatly appreciated. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
See you next season.